Hey guys, and welcome back to Mama Teach. This is classroom setup day 4. I am actually filming this as I'm wrapping up day 4, so I'm not going to give you a look around my room because I forgot to film the intro when I got here. So what I'm going to do instead is show you my progress and all the things that we were able to get accomplished today. And I'm going to show you those things at the end of the video. So thank you for joining on my journey as I set up my classroom for year 7 in 2nd grade. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks. All right guys, so I'm going to start setting up my library. This is something that I have put a lot of thought into. I've tried lots of different ways of setting it up, and this is something that I came across in a vlog that I watched this summer, a classroom setup vlog. So I'm gonna try it out. So what I did was order this pack of stickers. It's a 1,000-piece sticker set, 10 colors. They come like this, and there's 100 stickers on a roll. And then using the colors that Amazon showed, I was able to make this library genres. So all my fairy tale poems, poetry books like that will have a yellow sticker on them. All of my social emotional will have pink stickers. This one looks pink, but it's more of like a coral color because that's what the internet showed, and they actually match pretty decently. The only discrepancy in the two was that in the Amazon thing and pictures and the actual product is that it showed 3 different color greens that were like very different, and when you get the product it's actually 2 different color greens, and there's only a slight difference, and there's this orangey reddish coral color, so it's not quite orange and it's not quite coral. It's like a mix between the two. So that one I didn't use, and instead I have 3 greens right here, but I'm not going to change it for that. I'm just going to use these 2, and again, because in person there's not much of a difference in the 2 colors, I don't care if what bin they end up in. I might even just shove them all in the same bin because it's ocean. I tried to make sure that they were close: ocean life, animals, land animals, and insects. So I may just combine the insects and the land animals in the same box. When I say box, let me show you what I'm talking about. I don't use, I don't use baskets, like bins. I have this shelf right here. So each shelf has a category. I said in another video, these 2 are fiction. And then I just have them in each square is a different category. So I don't use bins. I've tried bins. I've tried labels that like match the genre, but with this shelf that I have here, it's just the colored labels have just never worked for me, or like the genre labels have just never worked for me, because there's nowhere to put the genre labels. I had put them like on these center things that are holding the shelf together, these little black things that are holding the shelf together, but they were too big and I didn't want to reprint them to size because, well, I was just too lazy for that. And the teacher I took over for like 3 years ago, she had already had them printed and I was just using them. Anyway, so I'm going to try this and just see if it works, but now I can't get my camera to sit back up. So just for example, like this one's called The Little Raindrop. I'm going to put this in the Space and Weather one because it is about weather. So what I was going to do, on here, it is my light blue sticker. So I take my light blue sticker. They're pretty little. On the internet they look relatively large. So I'm just going to take the sticker, put it on the spine of the sticker, make sure it's there, and then there will be a blue sticker. So when it goes in my box, the spine will be out and it will have a blue sticker around the bottom of the spine. And I'm hoping that 2nd graders will be able to look at the color and match the color. It shouldn't really be that hard. It shouldn't really be that hard, but last year when I taught 1st grade, I didn't have anything. I had them divided out by genre, but I didn't have like any way for the kids to know where they went. It was kind of just wherever you got it from, you need to make sure you put it back there. And so like every week I was having to go through each square and reorganize. They did a fairly good job. They really did. And second grade would even be able to do a better job, especially since I'm going to have some of the same kids. But I'm hoping that I can hire a librarian this year, and she'll be able to look at the stickers, he, she, whoever, will be able to look at the stickers and put them in the right bin so that I don't have to do it. And something that when they book shopped every week, we book shopped every Friday, and when they book shopped, they put their old book in a basket, just like a basket that I had, and then I had to put them back because they never knew a week later, they couldn't tell you what square they got them out of, even though they were divided out by genre. They couldn't look at all the other ocean books and put their ocean book back. They just couldn't do that. So it just, to alleviate so many books being misplaced, I just put them away myself. And I'm hoping this year that when they go to bookshop, and I can tell them to put their book back on the colored shelf that it is. So if they have a blue sticker on it, a light blue sticker, they can put it with the light blue books. And anyway, I don't divide them out by author. For me, it's easier to do them by genre because when I go to pull a book for a lesson, I'm looking for it in the genre. Like if I know that I'm teaching weather, I'm going to the weather section. I'm not going to look for whoever wrote this. I'm not going to look for Joanna Gray. I don't know who wrote the books, guys. For the most part, I can't tell you who wrote any of my books. So for me, it's just easier to go look for it by genre. That makes the most sense to me, so that's what I'm gonna stick with. So anyway, this one is called Little Kid's First Big Book of Things That Go. This one, to me, is a science book. So I would take my science stickers, which is the dark blue. It has this little piece of tape on it, but it comes off and doesn't ruin the stickers for the most part. So I'm gonna take a dark blue one. Again, I'm just gonna put it around the spine. And all of these books are mine. For the most part, I have accumulated them, and none of them will end up staying here. And they would even come off. I'm not gonna try to take them off because I don't want them off, but yeah. So I do have an extra one. This one is, I have two because I have this orangey red color that I don't know what to do with. But I have this purple one that I was gonna put on my fiction books that I put down here in the bottom two boxes. But there's only 100 stickers on this roll, and I can tell by looking at this that I probably have more than 100 books in these two boxes. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna label the fiction ones, and that way I can be like, if it doesn't have a sticker, you can put it in the bottom two boxes. And then like my chapter books have their own bins. I don't know, it's a lot to think about. So I'm gonna set you up, you're gonna watch me do this a little bit, and then I've also got to I have some more library books, all my library books, because I had to take the shelf down at the end of the year. But, shh. Okay, sorry. All my library books are on that shelf over there. So, I'm gonna get these set up. Okay, so I think I found a solution to having more books than I do stickers. So a lot of these books are like super thin. So what I did was take one long sticker, cut it in half, and then I have two stickers out of one sticker. So I'm just taking the thinner ones, using one sticker, turning it sideways to make sure I have enough to wrap around. And it still looks the exact same on the side. It just doesn't go as far in on the front and the back. So I think that I will be able to use the purple ones on my fiction books, because on the thinner ones, I'll just cut them in half. And instead of having 100, I could have up to 200. I do have a few thicker ones, so, but counting them, I have like maybe 10 to 12 that are thick. So I'll be able to cut the rest of them in half and have plenty for all my books. Okay, so I'm kind of having to adjust some things because I have way more animal books than I realized. So I'm making notes on this, and I am going to go home and change this. So ocean life, insects, and land animals. Like I said, my green stickers are way too close in color, so you can't, looking at the shelf, like you can't tell what belongs where, and I know they're going to get mixed up. So in order to save myself the headache, and I'm going to just go ahead and throw that idea out the window that they're going to stay in separate bins. So what I'm going to do is just make one green. Let me decide which color green I like the best. Not really any of these. More because I was trying to figure out which. I don't really like any of them. So I'm gonna try to find a different green. But anyway, so I'm gonna make one green section that just says animals and insects, because there is a difference between an animal and an insect. And so I kind of want them to just differentiate the two. And then I'm gonna go and add a purple section that says fiction. So if I take off 2, that'll leave me with 2 spots I could put some books. So the things I don't plan to put back on my shelf are like holiday books. I want it to kind of be a mystery once the holiday comes, and if I don't know, anyway, I'm gonna put the holiday books to the side and only get them out at the holiday time. They just won't have access to them all the time. That way some books that we read are kind of a mystery, and I won't know. I just feel like having them all out at once, I never know which books my kids have already read and which books my kids haven't read. So hopefully putting some away, especially for like fun times of the year, they'll be able to hear a book that they haven't heard before. So those are some changes I'm making. I did want to just put a little side note in that some of my, whichever categories can, really, there are fiction and nonfiction of the same category. So like this one is a nonfiction about a nonfiction about animals. And then this one is about a moose, but it's a fiction story. So they're both going in my animal category instead of putting this one in the fiction, because it is about a moose. It's about his mustache, and there's not really any other like plot line behind it. Unlike this one, again, it is a fiction story, but it has a plot line about kindness. So I'm putting it with my social emotional books, and it's one that you could read it at the beginning of the year to promote kindness, but you could also read it again around springtime, because it does talk about seed dispersal. So yeah, I'm gonna put this one with my social emotional books. But yeah, so I wanted to differentiate that just point out that I do have fiction and nonfiction books of the same category in the bins. All right, guys, so we were able to wrap up day 4, and we were here from about 10 o'clock to, it is now 4 o'clock. So we are wrapping up. We did take a little bit of a break in between and went and got lunch. I don't know how much filming I got done, so I'm not sure how long this video is going to be, but I'm going to flip my camera around and I'm going to show you all the things that we were able to accomplish, because we got some big projects knocked out, and I feel proud of where we made it today. So there's still lots to do. There's still 2 very large projects hanging over my head, but until I have a little bit of help, that's not going to get accomplished. So just some knick-knacky things laying around, and some tedious projects, and then 2 larger projects, and we'll be ready to set up the desks and dive into the first week activities instead of all the tedious things that have to get done before you can do all that. So stay tuned and I will show you what we have accomplished. So please excuse the noise in the background. I did bring my kiddos with me today, as you've seen in some of the videos. So again, this is just my pile of trash. This is my math board. I'm going to leave a little bit of space to do some math if I need to, but we do use Hadley. Can you turn that down? But we do use our projector for our whole group math lesson because there's a bunch of slides and things that come with our math program. So something that we go over, this is my flip calendar. If you haven't seen one of these before, this just flips over. All the months are here. These are all the days. And then I only did 23 and 24, but the file went all the way to like 2031 or something, but I didn't see the need in printing all of that. So this one is just hooked with a magnet. My rods that I already had, I didn't want to go buy new ones. They were not long enough to hold the day of the week, so I'm just magnetizing that up there. This is going to be how many days we've been in school. I'm just going to keep track of it here. Last year I did this, and you can tell that I stopped keeping track at some point. So if I stop keeping track at some point, it can easily come down and be used for something else. Money we go over. Again, I'm going to have a few things here to help with the number of the day. Some blank space here for us to write on. These are my math clues for addition, subtraction, and the equals. And then this is my 120 chart that was on my back wall. I've got to still print this out. This is something I did yesterday, and I thought I had filmed it, and then when I went to edit my video and put it together, I realized I had no footage of it. So these were lined up all the way across here, and I took them down, and I'm going to use this space for some clocks that I'm going to make telling us what time we go to lunch and recess and specials and all that, because we always have kids asking. Okay, so this was the biggest project today. Still need to make a third crate seat and change out these fabrics. These two bins right here are leveled readers. And by leveled readers, I just mean books that I've decided are a little bit easier, a little bit harder, and I'm gonna put a 1 and 2, so I actually need to swap them. Book level 1, level 2, a little bit easier, a little bit harder. Okay, so this was the big project today. You can tell by the spines of all the books that they are color coded. So these are all chapter books. I'm hoping to get a few more with some money that my admin's gonna give me to help transition to a new grade level. So these guys right here are animals and insects, land animals, polar animals, water animals, whatever. These right here are all different types of science books, sciencey types things, plants, human body, things like that. This is all weather and space, fairy tales, poetry. This one right here is all history, maps, some biographies. These are cartoon related, so famous cartoon characters that the students are used to seeing, as well as a whole shelf of Dr. Seuss. We do not do a whole, well, our school does, but I, as a teacher, do not do a whole week of Dr. Seuss themed anything. I just have accumulated these books, and they need their own thing. These books right here are social emotional books, things to do with manners, kindness, things that I expect from the classroom, things like that. These I'm gonna label as teacher favorites, and when I make my new library genres poster. So these are like The Good Egg, nope, that's in there. The Day the Crayons Quit, just some back to school books, but I don't want to label it back to school. These two right here are fiction books that do not fall into any category. Hey, you're too loud. These guys do not fall into any category. So they're my purple spines. So I thought if they pull a book off the shelf and they go to put it back, greens will go in either one of these. I do not care. Dark blue, light blue, yellow. This one is like a coral. Both are orange, hot pink, red, and both of these are purple. So backing up, all I was able to do here is just add the phonics. Here's my sweet child and her stuff that she's watching. These are the drawer labels that I put on yesterday. I still haven't done anything with this wall. This is the wall I'm gonna end up needing help with. I have not done anything with my desk area because I kind of know how I like things over there, and so I just haven't done it. I'll save that for last. This again is going to be my word workstation. This is going to be their centers. Each kid will have a drawer, and their centers work will be in that drawer. Okay guys, I'm so sorry it's so loud in here, but Bennett. math anchor charts, writing anchor charts, ELA anchor charts. I was gonna hang something up here, but if you saw in day 3 setup, I couldn't get writing to fit in order to save the space at the top to put something, so I just didn't put anything. Haven't done anything with this space. I was able to get my affirmation station up. These are just some books I'm gonna get rid of. So this is my affirmation station. I think it looks adorable, so I am satisfied with that. So again, this is just an overview. I have some decorations that go on top of here. I have some words that go on here. The desks are not organized, that's just how they ended up. These are still coming down. So yeah. Again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video.